This is a video tutorial from Independence University student advisors on how to complete the ePortfolio assignment. An electronic portfolio or ePortfolio is an electronic collection of evidence that shows your learning journey over time. For this portfolio, you will be creating a number of pages such as cover letter, resume, and certifications, and you can use this electronic portfolio as a place to keep these things to present to a future company or employer during an interview. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your internet web browser. I suggest using Mozilla Firefox. That's the one that's going to be most compatible with Canvas, our online learning environment. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and it's this little fox icon at the bottom of my screen. And I'm already logged into Canvas, so this is going to be my home page. And I'm going to go and log into CSS 101. Is going to load our home page. From the home page, you're going to go over to the left-hand side where it says Modules. Click there. And since we are in week 2, I'm going to go down to week 2 and click on week 2 assignment ePortfolio. This is going to take me to the instruction page. The first part of the instructions, you will see that there's actually another instructional video made by Screencast that's going to go over how to create an ePortfolio. So you can use that video if you have additional questions after watching this video. This is a graded assignment. You must copy your portfolio URL, and we will go over that later on in the video, and copy it to complete this assignment. So let's go down and look at the instructions. All right, your first step is going to say, if you don't have a Google account, create one now. It is easy, free, and only takes a few minutes. If you already have a Google account or Gmail, then you are ready to get started. So I'm just going to go and show you how to create a Gmail really quick if you don't already have one. So what I did is I went up to the top and clicked that little plus sign, and it's going to open up a new tab for me. And I'm just going to go to gmail.com. And it's going to take me to just like I would log into any of my emails. If you do not have a Gmail account, you're going to go down and create an account. If I click on that, it's just an easy few steps. You're going to put in your name and create your account there. But since I already have an account, I'm just going to go back and I'm going to sign in. And it already remembers my information, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And now I am logged into my Gmail account. From here, I'm going to go back and look and see what step 2 is. So it's going to tell me to go to sites.google.com and sign in with my Gmail account if I'm not already signed in. So I'm going to just highlight this, and I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to open up another tab. I like to have multiple tabs open so I can switch between my screens. And I'm just going to paste that right here. So this is going to take me to Google Sites. And since I'm already logged into my Gmail, it's going to take me straight to my websites that I've already created. It might ask you to log into your Gmail account again, and you'll just have to log in with that account that you just created. So from here, I'm going to go and I'm going to create a new site by clicking this red Create button over on the left-hand side. So I'll go ahead and click Create. And the first option we're going to select is Blank Template, because that's the type of template we're going to start with. Then I'm going to name my site. So I'm going to name it my name. You can name it whatever you want, but I would suggest naming it your name so that your instructor knows whose ePortfolio it is. So mine is just going to be Tiffany Watts ePortfolio. The next thing you're going to want to do is go down and select a theme. So I'm just going to click this little arrow, and it's going to give me a number of themes to select from. And you can select any of these themes, whatever fits your personality the most. I do recommend that you keep it professional so that you can show this to future employers. So I'm just going to go with this micro blueprint one right here. So I've selected that, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. And the last thing I need to do is type in this code. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. And then after that is typed in, I'm going to go up and click Create. And it's going to, oh, and it's telling me that my location is unavailable. which means I need to go and change the name of my ePortfolio. So I might go ahead and add like my middle initial if that happens to you. And it might have me retype that code. Nope, we're good. So let's click on Create Site, see if that worked for me. Still not letting me create it. Let's try it one more time. Let's see if I take out the spaces. And I'll go to Create Site. I'll type in the code again. So that time it let me create it with Tiffany L. Watt's portfolio, just because I guess I have a common name, and so it's going to have me put in my middle initial. So let's go back to the instruction page by just clicking on that tab up there and see what the next step is. So we've already done these steps. We've created our site. Now we're going to create our 8 pages. The first one that they want us to do is the introduction page. So let's go back. And I'm going to, instead of having a home page, I'm going to go up and click this little pencil icon to edit the page. And now it's going to let me type in there, and I'm going to erase the word home, and I'm going to put in the word introduction. And what Google Sites likes to do is alphabetize all of the different pages that you create when they show up over here. So I'm going to put a number 1 in front of introduction so that that's always going to be at the top. And then I will just type in introduction. And then I'm going to click save because that's all I want to do on this page right now. I can always come back later and edit it and add more things to it, but we're going to create all 8 pages before I go back and change anything. So let's go back and see what the second page is going to be. So our next page will be cover letter. So let's go back. And to add a new page under introduction, I'm going to go over to the right hand side, and there's this little page with a plus sign on it that says create page. I'll click there. It is going to let me name my page. So I'm going to put a number 2 because that's my second page. And I'm going to put in cover letter. And then down here, it should automatically be on the correct thing. We want it to be a web page. We want it to be put page at top level. We don't want it to be under introduction. That's only because it's going to create it as a sub page, and we want it to be at its own page. So it's going to be at the top level, not a sub page. So once I know that those are correct, I'm going to click create. And then if I was going to add anything here, I would, but right now we don't need to put anything under cover letter, so I'm just going to go up here and click save. And I'm going to do this for all 8 pages, so I'm going to go click create another page. And let's go back and see what the third page is. It's going to be resume. So I'm going to type number 3, type in resume. And these are correct, so I'm going to click create. And then I'm going to click save because I don't want to add anything yet. And as you can see over here on the left-hand side, it's keeping those in the order that I want them. So it has 1, 2, and 3 there. So let's go and create our 4th page. And this page is going to be the program study outline. And click create. And then this is one of the other pages that we're going to want to come back and edit later, but we're going to do that later. So I'm just going to click save. And we're halfway through. Let's go back and see what the next page is. Certifications. We're on page 5. And click create. And then as you go, you can add things later. You won't have to create all 8 pages and edit all of them for this assignment. You can always go and add files to it later, type in things, make it unique to you, so we'll save that. Okay, the next one is going to be letters of recommendation. Read it, and then save it, and then just 2 more. So honors and awards. And make sure you have this capitalized correctly. I'm not going to capitalize the "and" here, but it is a title, so we want honors and awards to both be capitalized. And then our last one is going to be demonstrations of competencies. Let's save that page. Add one last page. So I copied and pasted that one just because that one I knew I would have a harder time spelling. So demonstrations of competencies, and then create. Okay, and now all 8 of our pages are created and they're going to be in the correct order. So now I'm going to save that. So now let's say I want to go back and edit the introduction. I'm going to go and just click on the word introduction. It'll take me to that page, and we're just going to click that edit button again, that little pencil icon. And once I click it, it'll let me edit that. So let's go back and read the instructions for what they want us to do here. So under the introduction, it says, your introduction should be about 200 words. It is a written introduction of why you have created the portfolio and what you intend to use it for. What you include in the introduction is up to you, but it should be professional. Feel free to be creative with your introduction. So I'm going to go back, and this is where I would just start typing my 200 words. So I'll just start it off. I'll just make sure you include your name. So I'm going to say my name is Tiffany Watts. I am creating this e-portfolio to showcase or show off my knowledge and skills in the field of education. And I'm putting education because that's what I got my bachelor's degree in. So you're going to put your degree, of course. You're not going to put education. And then I'll go on and I'll say, I became interested in this field because, and then dot dot dot, I'll go on and I'll explain a little bit about why I went into the field of education. You can include things like things about your background, your experiences. Some people even choose to put in some soft skills here. One of your assignments for this week is called your soft skills discussion post. So once you do that assignment, you'll know more about what soft skills are. You can include some of those soft skills here. But just make sure that it is 200 words. And that's about 10 to 15 good sentences. So now I'm just going to go ahead and save this once I have my 200 words. And now let's go back to the instructions and see what the other page is that we have to edit. And it looks like it's going to be the program study outline. It says your program study outline should be about 200 words. It should describe why you have chosen your program and how the skills you learn at Independence University will help you in your career path. Some things you might want to think about as you complete this section include, why did I pick my program of study? What type of company would I like to work for? What skills will I bring to this company? Another good resource is the online catalog where you can read more about your program, and I can kind of show you where that is a little bit later. So let's go back, and I'm going to go to my program study outline. And I want to edit this page, so again I'm going to click that little pencil icon so that I can edit. And then this is where I'm going to type. It has to be 200 words again, so let's start here. And I'm just going to start off, I chose to study education. And remember, put your major here, because I have a passion for teaching others and seeing the reaction when a new skill is learned. And you can see right here I made a typo. It will underline if you spell a word wrong. All you have to do is right click and it should give you a correct or suggestions of the correct spelling here. So I just switched those around. And then you can go on and explain a little bit more about why you chose the degree that you're going into. In another paragraph, you might want to talk about what your goal is. So my goal is, and you might say, my goal is to open my own school or develop my own curriculum as an educator. Let's see, some other things that you might want to include are some of your skills / work experience, so that when you present this to an employer or a future employer, you'll be able to show what experience you already have. Some students even list some of the courses that they will have training in once they graduate from Independence University. And then again, make sure that this is 200 words long. Again, that is 10 to 15 good sentences. All right, and then once you're done with that 200 words, you're going to go up and click Save. And every time you're saving this, it's saving the entire portfolio. So if for some reason your computer shut down or your internet went down, you would still be able to go back and all of this would be saved. All right, so the last thing that we want to do now that it's all complete is we want to submit the assignment. So I'm going to go back and make sure that I'm clicked on the introduction page, because when I copy and paste my URL, which is this website up here, I want it to take my instructor straight to the introduction page so that I'm not just on some random page down here when she first opens it. So then she'll be able to see my introduction and go down and see all of my 8 pages and see all of the information I have there. So what I'm going to do is I want to copy and paste this web address. So I'm going to highlight it in blue. So all I'm doing is clicking down, holding, and highlighting this entire thing. Make sure you include the entire thing or your instructor will not be able to open it. So I'm going to copy. So all I did was right click to bring up this menu, click copy. And then I'm going to go over to my classroom page where all of my instructions are. If you scroll up to the very top, you're going to see a submit assignment button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on submit assignment, and it takes me to this text entry option. So unlike how you submitted your APA paper template where you attached a file, all I'm going to do is paste that URL or that web address that we just copied, and I'm going to paste it in here. So I can right click and click paste, and then our website is in there. Once I know that the entire thing is in there, if you don't know how to copy and paste, you can also just type it in here, like it'll let me type if I want to. You can type in your web address, and then I'm going to click submit assignment. So it's submitting that now. I know that it was successfully submitted. It says submission turned in. Make sure that it says that, because if it's not, you might have submitted something wrong, or if it still says submitting. Some students push submit and think everything is good, but then it never ends up being turned in. Another way you can go and check that is by going into grades, and it'll show up that that assignment is submitted. Okay, the last thing that I want to go over is how to get back to your ePortfolio later. So let's say I exit out of my ePortfolio and I'm like, how do I get back there? I want to go and make some changes. So let's exit out of Gmail as well. So I'm back on my classroom page. Okay, how do I get back to that ePortfolio? Let's go back and click that plus sign again and open up a new tab. And remember, it's linked to your Gmail account. So I'm going to go to gmail.com. And mine is automatically going to log me into my Gmail. I'm going to show you another way of how to get to Google Sites. So you can either go to google.sites.com or sites.google.com, or you can go over here, and next to my name is these 9 boxes that are stacked on top of each other, which are called apps. So if I click on those, it's going to bring up all of these options, but none of these are Google Site. So I'm going to go down to more, and then even more from Google. And it's going to give me all of the different options that Google has to offer. If you scroll down, there's a section called Home and Office. In that section over on the right-hand side, you'll see the word Sites. If you click on the word Sites, it will take you back to where that ePortfolio was listed. So this is the one I just created. I can click on it there, and now I'm right back to my ePortfolio. So if you need to go and make changes, say, oh no, this is not what I want, this is just a rough draft, but I already submitted it, you do not have to resubmit it. All you have to do is go in and edit it, make your changes, click save, and your instructor will now use that same web address that you copy and pasted, and it'll take them to the updated version of your website. So any changes that you make will automatically update into the classroom URL that you submitted. So you won't have to worry about resubmitting that if you want to go and make changes. I think that concludes everything that I wanted to go over. If you have any questions about how to get this done, or if something isn't working, please feel free to contact your student advisor. That is what we are here for, is to help you understand how to complete your assignments. You can also access the tutoring center. I will show you where that is, just in case you've forgotten. We have a tutoring center that is available. You can go back to modules, and you're going to go down to the section that says Course Home. The Student Success Center is also the tutoring center. We call it both. So if you click there, you can just click here to enter the Student Success Center, which is the tutoring center, and they'll be able to help you with your assignments just like your student advisor would be able to. All right, thank you for watching this video. That concludes our session about the ePortfolio, and have a great day.